So I think it was Gandhi who said, be the cause you want to see in the world. And the topic today is be the cause, but not just from the perspective how Gandhi looked at this statement to be the example of what you want to see in the outside. But in this context, what I mean by that is to not to be the effect of the environment, because the understanding that if you do not deliberately be the cause, you inevitably end up being the effect of the environment and the outside will enable you to begin creating the life that is very creative, not survival oriented. And we want to actually utilize this tendency as a biological creature because we tend to conform and absorb the outside situation. We have a tendency to blend into the environment. So let's say, for instance, if you are living in a certain, environment, you start feeling that state as a normal, right? So for instance, let me just give you a little bit better example. So if you have been living in a village, right, and not a city place, then that environment becomes normal, right? And then when you go to a city, you feel like it's a fast pace. But like for instance, I have only lived in city, I guess, right? Tokyo and then Los Angeles and San Francisco. So then the city place is normal for me. So the environment start creating the naturalness of how I feel about things. And let's say if you are, you know, working at a chaotic place, that becomes you get affected by that, right? So the outside start influencing you, right? So being the cause, choosing to be the cause is to really discern what are the environment, what part of the environment in the outside is what you want to absorb and make it part of you, and what are the things that you want to choose to reject and suspend to not to let that energy come inside of you. It's like being aware of the empathical part of us, right? And you do want to, some of the environment, you do want to choose to blend in. So for instance, let's say, in the online space, we have things this called mastermind, right? And a high level mastermind is that those people have produced a certain income in their business. And when you are surrounded by those people, you get influenced by that energy, frequency, collective frequency, and idea, right? Then you want to choose to be in that place, to be surrounded, to be influenced by it, so you can alter the frequency. That's the power of community, right? So if you are in a certain community of the like-minded people, especially the like-minded community where you vibrate in a higher frequency, vibrate in a higher vibration, those are different, right? The vibration is a positivity and the emotion frequency is a standard that you operate. When you operate in that state, you begin feeling that as a normal thing versus being a toxic, vibrational toxic place. So you want to detect the environment and see what part of the environment I want to blend in and absorb the frequency. What are the part of this that I want to maintain and sustain my frequency and choose to go inside through imagination or go to a different environment to be surrounded by it. And it's important to be aware of how much of the time through the week, through the day, am I being caused to create the outside effect versus I'm letting the outside to cause me to create my inside experience. And the more we are aware of that, means that you have a certain frame towards everything and you are the creator of the outside effect. The inside is the seed of the reality, your thoughts that you choose, the feeling that you have about you, and the belief that you operate from. And your outside is an effect of your inner reality. And that's the attitude and the stance and the awareness that we want to be operating from. Otherwise, the outside is going to absorb you, and outside becomes the cause, and your inner experience becomes the effect, and you will be um, not control. You will not have control over your manifestation and the creation in life. So be the cause you want to see in the world, but be the cause so that the outside is always going to be the effect. And depending on that effect that you see in the outside, let that be the cause to elevate your frequency. But anything that is in the outside effect decreases your frequency, remain as a cause, and see if you can not let that outside effect hijack your internal energy and remain being the cause. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.